Hi, so welcome to part two of the syllabus discussion. This is the part that is specific to your class. So if I can open up your syllabus here, it's no longer the generic one. Um, and let me inch it up ever so slightly if it'll let me. If I can grab it, there we go. Okay, so this is for micro 2010-31R. This used to be a face-to-face class before COVID-19. Now it's synchronous remote. Um, Giving you the CRN there, that's what you register by. Giving you the Canvas number for the class, that's what appears up in the Canvas URL if you actually ever need that. Okay, and so going on with what we need to do in this class and how it's actually going to work. Okay, bouncing down to what you need. Okay, this is the textbook you're going to need. It's called Microeconomics. Okay, that is the cheaper version. Okay, and this is the more expensive version called Economics. Most of you are not actually going to need to get a physical book because everybody has to register and pay for Connect, and Connect includes an e-text. So I don't know, 80-90% of the class is usually happy enough with the e-text, and that's when we're doing it face to face. And that number keeps getting higher and higher every year as people get more and more used to doing things online. Um, but there's always some people that like to, really tear apart a textbook and want the paper one and so forth. And, you can go and get one of those if you want to. Okay. All right. How do you get this stuff? Okay. Well, you need to go to this website right here. Okay. And hold on just a sec. I need to pause this for just a moment. Okay, and I'm back. I needed to have something open on this screen that you guys don't need to see, but I do. Okay, so this link down at the bottom will take you to the Connect section for my class. Okay, you're not just getting into Connect, you're getting into a specific class section for Connect that is attached to me and to this group. Okay, same thing with MobLab. Okay, that's on the next page. Link to their services right there. MobLab requires you to enter a code, which is given right here. On Canvas, in the what do you need to buy page that I opened up the day before class started, there's actually also a QR code that you could scan in with your phone if that's convenient for you. Okay. Um, Office hours here are kind of standard and are exactly the same as what we did before. And, excuse me, again, I'm in this other screen here trying to do something. There we go. You could see it popped up in Word there. That's what I needed. Okay. Going down to the next page, here are the URLs that you might need for the classes. Those are the main websites for those services, not the specific pages that I was looking at earlier. Okay. All right, next, going down to here, micro and macro, these ideas are a little bit more important. Okay, so for this class, Econ 2020 is not required. So lots of people take micro without macro. Lots of people take macro without micro. Usually in certain schools, there's kind of a tendency towards one or the other. So at SUU, micro has the earlier number, so people are more likely to take that one. But on the other hand, macro is required for a couple majors and micro is not, so that gets some extra people in there. Okay. All right. When an author writes an economics book, they write a big hardcover book that the publishers then split into micro and macro versions, which are largely the same, although they have some common chapters. Okay. All right. Your split text is divided into two parts, one and two. Okay. You are going to be doing part one in this class and parts of part two. Okay. Um, Down here, part 1 is a single section. Okay, part 2 is multiple sections, has 7 of them. And you are going to be doing parts of those. If I can go down another page, you are doing chapters 1 through 8 and 11 through 16. So up here, okay, that is, let me see. In this one, it is these 3 sections right here. Okay, is the end of that stuff on the next page there. Okay, basically 1 to 8 means the first 3 sections, 11 to 16 is the 2 sections that follow that. You'll have an exam at the end of each complete section. Okay, plus you'll have an exam in the middle of the first section and the last section because they're a little bit longer, for a total of 6. There are these things in the textbook called web chapters. We don't cover those. There are also appendices to some of the chapters, and we do cover those. I typically don't lecture on them, and I usually ask maybe a question on the exam as just a spot check to make sure that you read them. Lecture attendance, okay? You don't have to be there on any given day. I don't give you points for showing up, but often I will have an activity that has points behind it. And those actually tend to be fun. Most students are going to like doing those, okay? Okay, grades. The class is out of 400 points, 140 from chapter quizzes, 40 from comprehensive quizzes, 140 from online homeworks, and 100 from mob lab simulations. And you'll notice that those add up to more than 400. So it's not like I'm giving you extra credit, but I'm giving you the chance to earn extra points. So it's possible actually for the best student in the class to end up with like 415 out of 400 or something like that. Going on, those extra points allow me to have a grade scale which is strictly based on percentages. So you'll notice here that the cutoff for an A minus is actually 90%, cutoff for a B minus is 80%, and so forth. Okay. There will be 6 in-class exams plus a final. Okay. Each of those exams is going to cover 2 to 3 chapters. Okay. The way that an exam works is each chapter has a quiz that's 10 questions long. Each exam has more than one chapter quiz involved in it. Okay. Other than that, an exam doesn't mean anything special. Basically, if it was on paper, a quiz is 10 questions and an exam is a couple of quizzes stapled together. Okay, since you're going to be doing this in Canvas, it's actually going to be like 3 quiz links that you do one, you do the next one, you do the next one. Okay, I give you a default quiz score of 3 out of 10. Your job is to do better than that because you can't pass with a 3 on every quiz. You can retake quizzes, and if you do, okay, you get the new score, not the high score. Okay. There are going to be a couple extra credit chapters available to you. I do not lecture on those. I don't have notes on them that I could provide for you. But if you're short on points at the end of the semester and you want to study them on your own and take a quiz, I'll give you one. There are 2 chapters available for that right there. I wouldn't worry about that right now, but come Thanksgiving time, do people start asking about those? And the answer is yes. Okay. All right, I talked about comprehensive quizzes in the generic assignment. Okay. Going down further, here are the exam dates for the micro class. Okay. And you'll notice that you're allowed, or the number of chapters you have increases. Typically what people will do is only take the new chapters. So the first exam has chapters 1 to 3 quizzes. The next one has 1 to 5, but most people will just be doing 4 and 5. Some people will skip the first one, will be doing some extras. Some people that did poorly on a chapter will be doing some extras. Okay. At the end of the semester, it will be possible for you to take quizzes on every chapter, but most people won't have to. You might still have to take 2 or 3 or 5 or something like that at the end. Okay. Um, you're not required to take any exam on any given exam day or to take any particular quiz on any exam day. That's why so many of these things are available back here. If you skip at the beginning, you can still make them up towards the end. But because I do allow you to do that, there are no makeups, no how under any circumstances. Okay? Basically, I'm saying you can do anything you want on an exam day, but don't come and beg me for a makeup. Okay? That saves you the hassle of having to come and talk to a professor about why you missed the exam. Saves me the hassle of having to think about how to give you an exam that's different from everybody else's and how to adjust grades and stuff like that. Okay? Homeworks are through Connect. We covered that, the generic one. Smartbook and pre-built, that's all the same. There are no makeups, all that's the same. MobLab is the same across all my classes. All of this stuff is the same. Okay, and as we go down here, the essential learning outcomes here are different between the classes. Okay, but other than that, pretty much exactly the same. Okay. So I did mention in the generic lecture that I had not edited this part here properly. Okay. So in micro, we actually do a couple more chapters. So I think the 14 is accurate, but the 22 days is not. It's a little bit less than that, but basically 1 to 2 days per chapter. And they're going to go a little bit quicker in micro than in macro. Okay. So enough about this. Come back to me with any questions that you may have. That'd be great. I'll talk to you in another video. Bye.